according as his work it shall be. I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Look to me above, the best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things that God's prepared for those who love the Lord. Hold on to his hand, continue to stand, and look to him above. The best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. For you, my sister Beverly, the best is yet to come.
Behold, has believed our report. And I think I reported the Lord how he has blessed you. But Paul also says, so whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, honest, and of good report, think on these things. And now may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, keep our hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. I should do a whole lot of make you praise Jesus. Oh, my Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Help me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
You the person who want to audit me?
I work for the IRS. Did you get a letter that you needed to be audited?
Got some phone calls that told me not to listen.
Well, you need some help? Come on, let's have a seat and let's see what you
I
have.
ain't had enough help of my life.
Yes,
I
yes,
got to
ma'am.
do this by myself.
Gotta do it by this. Well, the Lord is keeping you.
Yeah, he don't.
You walked in here, amen.
Am I right? Yeah. What you want?
What's your name?
My name is Refund.
Refund.
Refund. I got these papers. They said they wanted to audit me. Lord knows on the life I've been trying to keep up everything. And you just got me some kind of something here. Jesus.
Well, don't be nervous.
That's my baby. They want on my baby time. Come on now, tell me what you need. Tell me what you need.
Well, what did the letter say? So we need all of your returns. You got all your returns?
I said my name Refund. I don't do nothing about no return. Refund. I get a refund. Refund.
That's why they...
You ain't getting my stuff. Everybody be trying to get my stuff.
Calm down. We're here to help you, not to hurt you, okay?
What your name is?
Beverly?
You that lady I got that email from. They say search me.
Search me and know me.
Well, he ain't got to really search me. He said search you.
He searches me. Yeah. know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord.
Well, I love him, but I don't know why y'all want to order me.
But don't worry.
Lord Jesus, Jesus. Lord, you know I love you. Yes, Lord, get me out of this, Lord. Get me out of this, hold it. Lord, you said, Lord, right now. Lord, you know me just so wrong.
Touch your hair. You got some on your hair.
Lord bless her, Lord bless her.
Oh,
Lord,
yes.
give her peace.
Yes, Jesus. Lord, you know I didn't mean it. You know I didn't mean it, Lord. I'm a refund. Forgive me, Lord. It's grandchildren. I need to take it for grandchildren. I need to take it off the boys. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Okay, you gonna let me go. You said all things work together. You said it. You said it. And you believe the word, right?
I believe the word.
Or then you gonna let me go?
The Lord said, Caesar was due Caesar.
Your name is Caesar. Your name is Caesar. And they said you was with the IRS. I heard you got promoted to the internal security registration.
I'm getting ready to retire.
Me too.
It's blessed me to be retirement age. You've been so good, so good, so good.
All right, that's good. You need to be good to me too.
Got all the information, and we're gonna review it.
Refund.
All of that into consideration.
Refund. Send it to my address.
Is all of that information in your paperwork that you
I told you I can't let my paperwork go.
filled out in the reception area
Oh, okay.
with your name and
All
telephone
right.
number and address
All right.
and all. Okay,
All
so
right.
we
All
have
right.
all of that information. Okay,
I'm gonna send my doctor up here with my scriptures.
you okay?
Send him for my scriptures.
Your scripture?
Yeah.
Your scripture?
You make sure you send my refund.
Your refund? Yes, ma'am. Yes,
REFUNN.
R-E-F-U-N. All right, sister. Amen.
Knock. Can I come in?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Come in.
Oh, thank you so
How
much.
you doing?
I'm doing good. This not being recorded, is it?
No, it's not me. Why would you think it's me?
All right. I got this letter in the mail, and it scared me to death about these taxes.
Don't be scared. It's gonna be all right.
You're not recording it right now. Okay.
Just leave you and the Lord.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you, the letter said that I need to come in to you. You the tax lady, right?
I am the tax lady.
You work for the Internal Revenue Service?
Yes, the IRS. You in the right
Oh
place.
no, they said the Internal Revenue Service.
IRS, Internal Revenue Service.
Oh, it's the same thing?
I've been here for 35 years.
35?
Yeah.
Oh my
God
goodness.
is good. God is good. Yeah.
You weren't scared when that government shutdown came?
Well, you know, the Lord provides and He takes care of His children. Amen. And I know I'm His child.
Oh,
And
after
He
35?
takes care of me. Yeah.
Ooh, after 35 years, then you probably got some stocks in bondage.
The Lord.
You got no stocks in bondage, then you probably take care of you. It didn't bother you then with the shutdown. Okay. All right. So, let me tell you what I got. I know the letter said that I needed some, to come in with some proof, about my deductions that I had on my taxes and stuff. So I got my proof. Okay, so one of the things I know I can deduct is I do the lady down the street hair. And she comes to my house and she wrote a letter. She said she comes once a week and I do her hair in my house. I bring my own products and stuff. And she all my receipts here about the products. And she's about $200 each time she $200 each time she come. I charge $200. And I even got a picture in here that shows the before and after.
Are you a licensed? Do you have a license to do that?
No, I'm just gifted.
If you don't have a license, if you are not a licensed beautician, then that's not deductible.
Okay, all right. Well, I got some more.
Okay, well, let's see.
Let's see, let me see. Sometimes I change my own oil. I go to AutoZone and I get the oil, and I get the filters, and oil pan. I get all of it. And the torque, that thing that you go up under the car with, and I got a little jack the car. Okay, I can't deduct that either. Right. I thought all these were deductions. Okay, my friend, she went over to Abu Dhabi, and she told me I could watch her son.
Okay.
And he stayed at my house every now and then. I got receipts of groceries he ate. Some groceries, and I think I bought him a pair of shoes and Payless one day. But sometimes, so he was in my house. I wanted to deduct him. I got the receipts though.
But you can't do that because she's on. Okay. That was just for a little while. That's not a legitimate deduction.
All these papers and stuff, I ain't got nothing. Okay. The last one I got was I have an offshore account. You don't know about I'm gonna go back and get me some my other stuff because I thought these were gonna be okay. I'll get together some more stuff for you. Don't process my stuff yet. You gotta work with me, Miss Upperman.
We will. We're gonna work it out. God's gonna make a way, and He's gonna show us just what you need.
You need to make a way with some deductions.
Your check comes. All right. I don't know why they put me up there. All right. So advice and well wishes. Always remember to take care of and be yourself. Take a road trip to Siesta Key, Florida and Destin. Make sure to enjoy life, the little things, and there's some Tara Lynn, naps. Bucket list, suggestions. Again, take a trip to Paris after Notre Dame is rebuilt. Head to Dubai and Jordan. Some suggestions there. All right, so favorite memories. Sorry, we didn't have just one. There's a nice group over there. So Imani Lock-ins.
Yes.
Victorious Women.
Yes.
I told him, I said, I showed up 5 hours late one time. Y'all on the second prayer.
On the second prayer. Good God.
That's why I knew who to call when I became principal. Jesus said, Victorious Women? He said, I got you covered. Another memory, Tiffany mentioned that you were who was there at the altar when she gave her life to Christ.
Amen. Tiffany.
Another memory, we were just laughing back there, when Miss Beverly, and the mothers would ask us to sing praise and worship with them. We didn't know the song. Miss Beverly would just start singing, Lord is wonderful. We were like, and our favorite memory was we called her Krim. This is my story. The sister told me this story. One day they were sitting somewhere, and Miss Beverly said, "Name one of them Krims." We were like, "Krim, a Krim, one of them Krims." So she was asking for a crayon. Moving on to well wishes. So be your kind of busy. Just because you want to do it. So if you want to be busy, you be busy because of that. And don't be afraid to try new things. And always remember your song. You have a song for every. All right, this is from Table I, Etta, Phyllis, Carlisha, Keisha, Jackie, Tiffany, and TLC.
I bless you.
Okay. Table 2. Let me get to the serious stuff, then we'll get to the fun stuff. Relax. Smell the roses. Maybe your husband used to always say, Beverly, you better sit down before you fall down.
Yeah.
Take a road trip down memory lane to DC or to California. That's Chris Busson. Add some more stuff to it. Okay. Make sure to enjoy life, family, friends, and to brush your teeth every day. Bucket list suggestions. Seychelles Island. Enjoy your future grandchildren. We'll keep praying for that.
Amen.
Favorite memory. Show your love. And someone said something about you preach, there's nothing new under the sun. Said they loved that sermon. And then the 50th birthday, Marlene and her husband made you some pasta salad. And they said it was the look on your face that let them know that they cooked the good pasta salad. And helping all of us raise our children. Well wishes. Enjoy your next season. Health and prosperity.
Yes, yes.
But on a funny note, her husband and I spent a lot of time together, and we used to fuss and cut up. And I used to always tease Chris about being real country. So one day we went to a football game. Remember?
I do.
And Chris was always good at cooking food, bringing food. So one day Chris came to a football game with some fried chicken, some bigots, and he had them stuffed inside a loaf of bread bag. And I cut up on this boy so bad. And that was the very first time I think I ever heard him say, "What, bro? Come on, show your love." I couldn't help myself. I was so busy cutting up.
He had all the condiments too.
And he had all the condiments.
In that one bag.
And then one day, Chris was good. He was good for Beverly. Beverly was good for him. But one of the things that I want to share with you, sis, is that someone told me a long time ago, laughter is good for the soul. And anybody who knows me know I love to cut up. And my table back there, my wife, she's hiding somewhere. She didn't want me to share this funny stories with you. But laughter is always good. Laughter is always good. And that's one thing I always remember about you, and I always remember about your husband. And the pastor. Pastor, I got a lot of my funny stories from you. Yeah, I remember some of the things that you used to do too. So it's good that we're all here sharing and laughter, because it's good.
Amen.
God bless you.
Bless you.
Table T is George, Pauline, Gary, Sonia, Sharon, Wanlin, and myself.
Amen.
Our table over there. Advice and wishes for your retirement, Beverly. Always remember that no can be an anointed word. Take a road trip to the beach. Make sure to enjoy yourself. Bucket list suggestions are rest and make a trip to the Holy Land.
Okay.
Favorite memories? One came from Ms. Joyce. She said one of her favorite memories was co-teaching the teenage girls with you. How she stood in awe of how profound you were and how you taught the word. Amen. And then the other one came from Annette. She said the worship experience with you was an ultimate memory for her. And I shared my one of my great memories of you, and the other one is just watching you rightly divide the word of truth. It's an amazing sight to see and to behold it for the ear, and how it always blesses my soul. And our well wishes is, one is continue to serve. Continue to walk in the love that you walk in, the love of Christ. Continue to exemplify the Christ that's on the inside of you. And that's from your second art table. God bless you.
Wait. I'm the oldest one here, I can add to it. Now, listen to this. She told her to go to the beach, but she didn't tell her how to dress.
In your swimsuit, because you on the beach.
Oh! I don't want to see it.
And well wishes for your retirement. Y'all gotta listen up because I can't speak loud. For your retirement, always remember your beautiful heart, the important things to serve, and from Miss Clara Davis, remember to remember.
Got you.
That means something.
Yes.
That means something.
That's a good one. All right, next we have take a road trip to across country. There are so many beautiful places to see. Make sure to enjoy the smaller things in life. Bucket list suggestions. Take a trip to Dubai and Ghana. Then go skydiving.
Better don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, so
That came from Ralph, huh?
a favorite memory. We talked about this in detail, but overall it was how you managed to maintain Christian character in the face of adversity, your genuine love, and your bossiness.
Controlling in a soft manner.
All right, well wishes. Wishing you great health and wealth in this next journey of your life. With love, Ralph and Denise Aldridge, Paula and Miriam Daniels, Jerry and Clara Davis, and Wanda McKenzie.
God bless you.
Is this your cell phone?
All right, okay, Miss Beth. So our table, we have a lot of interesting advice for you. So always remember, never stop learning, and to be true to who you are and yourself. Take a road trip to the West Coast, and I would also add to that a train ride,
Okay.
because it's nice to see the countryside. Make sure to just enjoy every moment. Life happens so fast, and sometimes we forget to enjoy that. Even though every day is not a good day, there's good in every day. So,
Good.
bucket list.
That'll preach, huh?
So of course this comes from me. This one, you need to go to Jeju. Okay, so y'all know what Jeju is in here. So
That's your
and my
daughter.
mom has been and my aunt has been. I liberated them together. So it is an Asian spa, and it's almost like the Garden of Eden on our side. So
I ain't
pretty
ready.
much nothing.
I'm
and
not
they're
ready.
gonna make you feel like you never had a bath in your life. They scrub you so much you turn different color coming out. So just go for a full day and enjoy it, and don't block out everything and everybody, and just be in your essence. Visit the Holy Land, of course, like we said. Another one said,
Mr. Upperman took so many pictures, so we said, you know, you probably could get into scrapbooking if you haven't
Yeah.
already to
That's
start.
a good idea.
Yeah, so you have something to leave for your legacy for your that's coming up next, your grandbaby.
I received
So
it.
also, the next thing we have is to write a book. You have a lot of life experiences, and it's a nice time to actually put it in a book. So that was one of the bucket list things, you know, to put in a book. Favorite memory, and this is you and I here, Miss Enterprise. You gave me that. You gave me that name, and for those of you that don't know, Chris was my escort to the debutante ball I had, and I was crowned for raising a lot of money with scholarship, and she's always called me Miss Enterprise since then because of all the business ventures and things that I had ambition behind. And so even to this day, sometimes when I feel like I'm getting ready to do something, I'm like, Miss Enterprise, I'm gonna channel her, and that's from you, that name that you named me. We also have put on here EC Reams conferences. You know, y'all come with the garb, with the hats and everything, all the hats, praying out so loud through the house. I remember having you all have these Victoria's Women conferences at the houses in the beginning, and you all would shake the windows with the prayer. And I didn't know what was going on in there, but I know that the place was clear. Another favorite memory of us all being together, because you're like family, is Miss Pam's Super Bowls parties.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely feel like I always associated hanging out with the boys and so forth when we would do that. Also the many videos and pictures and the Christmas gifts. Miss Beverly gives Christmas gifts and birthday presents all the time. And even to my children now, they know when you walk in here, it's Miss Beverly. Yes. They said, did she have a Christmas present for us? They know the presents. Well wishes, things that we're wishing you soon, our grandbabies. You know, new adventures, things that you can be open-minded to new adventures.
Okay.
Remembering to pause, that comes from you because, you know, we're in the same federal environment and we're always on the go. And sometimes when work and you're the head of things and you're running things so much, you just don't pause. So just remembering that it's okay to pause and slow down. Stay beautiful and find a meaningful hobby to you. So this comes from our table, which is Miss William, Diana, the Fierce family, Ashley and Bill, Marie and Miss Connie.
Amen. God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much.
Bless you.
Okay, this is from table D, Miss Beverly. We want to tell you, always remember, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in life so you can keep moving on. Take a road trip to Noah's Ark. We want to say, make sure to enjoy every moment of your journey. Our bucket list suggestion, we said, take your retired friends on a trip to Notre Dame.
Oh, me take them.
Yes. Okay. Favorite memories? We had a girls' trip that you took. Your godchildren's birthdays. And the trip to Alaska.
Yes.
Our well wishes will be enjoy life. Welcome your grandchildren into your life. Wishing you the best because the best is yet to come.
Yeah.
So, and this is from Roger and April, San Barlow, Mary Ann and Philip, Pastor, and Mrs. Lockhart.
Amen. Bless you.
From our heart. If you ever get caught like that again, let emergency arrive, and you go to the bathroom and be all over
Okay, well wishes. Do everything in your heart to do. Appreciate the small things. Show your love. With love, your behold, his love family.
Thank you.
On our table, we have our advice and wishes for your retirement. Ms. Beverly. Always remember to savor every moment. Take a road trip to the Grand Canyon, but we also had some suggestions. Do it in the daytime.
Okay.
Don't be caught up there at night. Make sure to enjoy family and friends. Your bucket list suggestions was visit the Holy Land.
Yes.
Favorite memory was from our table was the 1 cup communion.
A word that comes and goes, but few people really know what it means to really love somebody. Do you know what it means to love? Though your tears may fade away, I'm so glad your love will stay. 'Cause I love you, and you show me, Jesus, what it really means to love. I love you, I love you, Lord, today, because you care for me in such a special way. And yes, I praise you, I lift you up, and I magnify your name. That is why my heart is filled with praise. My heart, my mind, my soul belongs to you. You gave your life for me, way back on Calvary. That's why I praise you. I lift you up and I magnify your name. Your name is great. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Oh, Lord, love me in your arms. You were my shelter from the storm. When all my friends were gone, you were right there. You were right there all alone. I've never known before love like this before. I just wanna say, the nights that I cried, you loved me. When I should have died, you loved me. I'll never know why you love me. What it really means to love. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, I love you, I love you. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. I worship and adore you. Just want to take the time. Just want to tell you, yes, Lord, I love you. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. I worship and adore you. I just want to tell love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. I worship and adore you. Just wanna take the time. Just want to tell you, yeah, that I love you, Lord, more than anything. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. I worship and adore you. I just wanna tell you. I just wanna tell you that I love you more than anything. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. I worship and adore you. Magnify your heart. Just want to tell you, I love you. 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 Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Like hung and high. Like stretched and wide. He hung his head. For me he died. That's love. That's love. That's love. But that's not how the story is. 3 nights later, he rose again. That's
because we'll just be crying and we won't get anything accomplished. But you know how much we love you. Yo, girls, we love you. I mean, you have been like another mother to all of us since we were kids. And we in the 40s and got kids and husbands and all that. We look good.
right. Yeah. There you go.
You know, we celebrate the wisdom. So we are so appreciative to you and our other mamas, but since this is specifically about you today, we honor you, we appreciate you, we are grateful for all that you have been and continue to be in our lives, and not just our lives, our husbands and our children. They know who you are. And so we just wanted to take an opportunity to come and to just share with you and to just say we love you so very much.
Amen. Amen.
Give me a clean heart, so I might serve Thee. Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by Thee. Lord, I'm not worthy of all these blessings. so I might serve thee. Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee. Lord, I'm not worthy of all these blessings. Give me a clean heart, and I'll follow thee. Give me a clean heart, so I might serve thee. Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee. Lord, I'm not worthy of all these blessings. Give me a clean heart. Give me a clean heart. Give me a clean heart, and I'll follow thee, and I'll follow thee, and I'll follow
conference room for a meeting, it ain't a happy journey to go up there, because they ain't calling you up there to tell you what a great job you're doing. You probably screwed something up. So now they need to get some clarification, right? So, but every time she would come up there, and I think Ken described it, she always was very professional. Always dressed nice, looked nice, and she was always just, she was excited about what she was doing. But one day, just like with Ken, she kind of hung back after the meeting was over. Now, most time when folks hang back, they want to ask you for a job, you know? So I was all prepared with, no, you can't have it. But not Beverly. She said to me, hey, I heard you're part of Kairos, which is the prison thing that we all do. And so, like when she said that, it was like a little glow came over her, and I was no longer pissed about whatever bad news she got. It was really very cool. But you see, when you're involved in Kairos, that means that you are saying, I'm okay with going in and making myself less to deal with people who don't have any love, they don't have anybody that is near them. So when you get home, look up Matthew 25:36, and it talks about the instructions from Christ to come and visit me in prison. That's what it says. So what she's been doing is she's been following the instructions of our Lord. So the other thing that crossed my mind was, I said, now why would somebody like her, who has everything in the world, she's probably got a nice car. What car are you driving? What? Nissan Road? Okay, well, step it up now. Come on, Beverly, you get a Ford more than a Nissan Road. You better look at an Lexus. Let me tell you.
I told her the same thing. Go big.
Okay, so I only got 2 minutes, so she's got a nice house, family. She had a great job. She don't have one anymore. But you see, what I wanted to do today was I wanted to let you all have a peek inside of her heart. You see, so if we were to open her heart, which would be hard to do because it's so big, right? What would you see inside her heart? You'd see compassion. You'd see a person who is able to listen. You will see a person who is huggable. If you got a hug from her today, boy, it's a special thing. Let me tell you, y'all need to get one, kids. She is giving them out today. And then the key thing is, when you're in the prison, the ability to love unconditionally. So now, that's when I met her. I forgot what year that was. Well, now, if y'all didn't know, she is now on the state board for Kairos. She is the number 2 person. If the top person keels over, Beverly's in charge. Beverly's in charge. So now, in essence, I work for Beverly. That's why I took some stuff. I just put some stuff in my speech because I like to keep my good job. So, you know, she shows that unconditional love just like Christ shows it to us, right? The other thing she showed us was how to rely on your faith when we lose somebody close to us. You see, we don't ever go through life thinking we're gonna, we always know like our parents are gonna go first, right? You know, but we don't ever expect a child or our spouse to go first. And so part of what God does to us is He prepares us throughout life to be able to make the journey if in fact that happens. So we had an example of somebody who had those gifts. Because after he passed away, she was still Beverly that we knew. She had the strength. When she walked around the office, you still got that smile. If you had a challenge, she would still come over and talk to you about that. And you know, she continued to do her job, and she continued to treat people with respect. So, you know, if we think about kind of what she showed us, that's kind of what we got from you. You know, here when you're working, you're always saying, oh, I gotta close more cases, I gotta work harder, answer more calls. Well, y'all do to keep your job. I just want to be clear on that. But in essence, He sends us to work to influence other people, to show them the way in terms of how to do things. So where we opened our heart, now we're going to take a look at it when it's closed, because now you see the angels with some special thread have sewn her heart back together. Not completely, but it is sewn back together. And if we were to be able to look at that heart, that we would see that God was always there holding her up, helping her through those challenging times, and now He's sewing our heart back together. So you're probably saying, geez, Rick, why do you share that? You know, I think what she's shown us here is how to live a life in a God-like way. So she has shown us how to deal with disappointment. She has shown us how to deal with lack of success. She has shown us how to deal with loss. So we need people like that in our life. And now you're leaving us, but I think you have prepared us to go on while you're gone. And so in conclusion, in 2 minutes, I want to say congratulations. You did a great job here from a work and from a personal standpoint. You should be very proud of what you've done, because it's not always that we can matriculate through our time in IRS so that at the end everybody says she did it in a Christ-like way, because we often fail and fall. So just remember, as a retiree, we'll be talking to you afterwards because we have a little way that we can go around get free food at retirement. We need to clue you in on all of that. Your retirement check is good, but it ain't that good. And so in conclusion, you know, I think if Christ was in the room, he would say, well done. Well done. Congratulations.
Reflect on how Beverly has impacted the care organization. I had a chance to get to know Beverly as she started her executive readiness assignments, and she did that in our care organization with SPEC. As I'm out visiting our SPEC partners and volunteers, I often tell them that they can volunteer any place and do the work for our VITA TCE programs, but they have to have the passion. And Beverly came into the SPEC organization with that passion. Beverly she championed the 4.0 growth initiative. And Beverly, do you remember the tagline that you used for the 4.0? Watch us grow. Yeah, 4.0 watch us grow. And Beverly did. Beverly championed that, and we saw a growth in that program. Beverly also championed the SPEC Rock, so that we can gain some efficiencies and use our resources better. So Beverly, thank you for that. And Beverly supported our annual SPEC Shadowing Opportunity Day, where she provided the campus employees an opportunity to learn about the SPEC organization. They came and they stayed the day with us, and that was just a great initiative. So, you know, Beverly is the epitome of a servant leader. And what I'd like to share with you is a passage from a book called The Servant Leadership Characteristics of Organizational Life. In reading that passage, I knew right away that that definitely was Beverly, and it fits Beverly to a T. So it's the paradoxes of being a servant leader. Strong enough to be weak, successful enough to fail, busy enough to make time, wise enough to say, I don't know, serious enough to laugh, rich enough to be poor, right enough to say, I'm wrong, compassionate enough to discipline, mature enough to be childlike, important enough to be last, planned enough to be spontaneous, controlled enough to be flexible, free enough to endure captivity, knowledgeable enough to ask questions, loving enough to be angry, great enough to be anonymous, responsible enough to play, assured enough to be rejected, victorious enough to lose, industrious enough to relax, and leading enough to serve. And Beverly, that is exactly you, and as I said, it fits you to a T. So Beverly, you will truly be missed. The SPEC organization loved having you as your executive readiness assignment. You were one of the reasons that SPEC changed it from a program to a cause. So now that's our tagline, that SPEC is not a program, it's a cause, and that's because of Beverly. So Beverly, we really enjoyed having you in our SPEC organization. As I said, you have touched so many, and you was truly, truly be missed.
Beverly, I want you to know that I love you so much. You're a good friend. And I just want your family to know how important she is. When you think about the IRS as an organization, there are about 80,000 some odd employees, and about 300 people get to serve in executive positions. So she's risen to the top of the organization and just done a fabulous job. We're truly grateful for her. So Beverly's the only person to have the distinction of having served as an Area 1, Area 2 Spec Director, Area 3 Spec Director, and also assistant to the director in the spec organization. And I love what Deandra said, because everywhere you serve as a servant leader. Thank you for that. I love one of Beverly's favorite stories. I hope it's a favorite story. Last year she got to visit a partner in San Antonio, and she met she met a taxpayer who had come in to get their taxes prepared. And this lady's story was this: she had gone to one of the paid preparers and had her return done and had her refund ready. And when she was told how much it was going to cost, she left crying. And she knew she couldn't. She left without the return being paid. She didn't get the return done, and so she left. Well, when she got home, she had a repairman come to her home. And the lady told the repairman how awful it was that she couldn't afford to get her return repaired for free. Or get it repaired because it cost too much. And the repairman told her about buying it. And Beverly met her at the site. And she was sitting there getting her return prepared for free and got her refund. And that's why SPEC is a cause, not a program. Because there are so many just like this individual. And Beverly, your fingerprints are all over the SPEC organization. Your heart is all over the SPEC organization. And your influence will be felt for years to come. We're so grateful for that. Last year we nominated you, Beverly, to be Employee of the Year in the Federal Employee Program. And we talked about the ministry just a little bit. But in our write-up, now Kim Draper, who's here, wrote up about you, and she said this: in 2006, Beverly began serving in the Kairos Prison Ministry International, KPMI, as a Christian faith-based ministry consisting of 3 programs that address the spiritual needs of incarcerated men, women, and families. Beverly and other outside volunteers actively engage with female volunteers to share their faith, provide a listening ear, and offer hope and unconditional love that will help build Christian communities within the prison. Over a period of 12 years, Beverly has touched the lives of more than 1,000 incarcerated women in Georgia prison. I think that's amazing. You should have won. You have made a big difference in the IRS, in SPEC, in your community, and in my life as well. I want you to know. Last year, Beverly gave me this card. It's a little bit hashed, a little bit haggard now. I keep it taped on my calendar at my desk so that I can see it often. She has a scripture on there. It's Philippians 4:4. It says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice." I love that about you, Beverly. Now the flip side, I think she gave it to me to remind me to be nice. It says, "Rejoice. Your joyful attitude and kind spirit spill over to others in the workplace." Beverly, I love you so much. I'm so happy that you're retiring and get to move on to this next phase in your life. You're going to do amazing things. I believe God's called you to a higher call. And I'm grateful to be here to pay tribute to you. Thanks.
I've known Beverly since 2004, and she was one of the first persons that I worked on in strategy and insecurities or not confident about steps to take, she would pull me over to my desk and say, little girl. She would have these little girl talks with me, reminding me that I am stronger than I think I am, I'm wiser, and everything that I needed was inside me to succeed. And I just want you to know today, when I'm not feeling confident, when I'm afraid to take that next step in faith, I hear you say, little girl. So I thank you for those little girl talks. I know here at IRS we love acronyms, and because I know Beverly loves butterflies. So here's my butterfly for Beverly acronym. B is because you're bright, loving, and that's what you've been to us. U, because you're uniquely designed to inspire others. T, you're tender and kind, and that's what your leadership and pruning of us have been. T, you're a thoughtful thinker on any task assigned. I'm sure you guys heard that, not a program, but a cause. E, you empower others to openly follow Christ. Here in the workplace, I am grateful for that. R, you're radiant and righteous in your walk and your care for us as individuals. F, you're faithful and a true friend, and you willingly extend that to everyone. L, you're lighthearted and pleasant company in all spaces and places, and I'm sure you heard Ken reference that. And Y, the Y is you. You are always the same loving, kind, generous, giving soul, no matter what the situation calls, in all seasons. And I am grateful that who you are. I thank you for sharing friendship with me. So as the saying goes, you give a person their flowers while they are there among the living. So I humbly give you this butterfly. May you soar. Okay, y'all gotta stop this because I can't make my makeup. All right. Our next recipient, our next presenter is Shirley Ewer. Come on up, Shirley. Shirley lost her voice to the pollen in the city. So she asked me to read her presentation. Did he come back? No, okay. And Shirley, this is Shirley. She's a dear friend of ours as well. So, Beverly, our journey with IRS began in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1991. We were in a class of 600 new hires. Wow, that seems so long ago. Although we met each other and supported each other during our early years, we really didn't become close until you came to the Tulane building and joined the team of offering compromise managers. That was a new program, and we had many trials learning and applying that program. Let me step to the side. I'm Teresa. I was a group manager, and yeah, they did. Y'all made it, yeah. You have been with me through some of the worst challenges of my life. I'm so grateful for you and your friendship. Your faith, empathy, caring disposition, and loving arms have blessed me as a coworker and as a friend. Although we don't see each other often or frequently, I know that you're always there. You will find that pushing that retirement button has freed you up to do so many new and inspiring opportunities. The best thing about retirement is you now have a choice. You decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. That is true peace and bliss. We heard you today. Beverly, I wish you the very best in this new endeavor of your life. Enjoy every moment and every day. Now we can have that long-awaited lunch.
Best wishes and best of luck. Much love, Shirley.
All right, so as they've said, I'm Christopher Upperman. Miss Beverly, or Mom to me, eldest son, and Troy here. We just have a couple of remarks that we want to share with you guys. I personally thought really hard about these. My wife helped me, make these remarks just to kind of be thoughtful, especially since we have you all here. Obviously, she's my mother, so kind of the perspective is a little different, but I wanted to reflect on her as her time in the federal government. But before that, Troy actually wanted to share some remarks from our family members in North Carolina who are unable to be here.
It says, our dearest Beverly, congratulations on your retirement from the Internal Revenue Service. Your family is so sorry we could not be with you today due to extenuating circumstances beyond our control. We extend our loving arms across the miles to celebrate you today. We express our sincere thanks to your staff and co-workers for celebrating you in such a special way. You are so deserving. You are indeed a stalwart of our family. We can always count on Beverly in every situation. We have watched your dedication and commitment to your career day in and day out. We have seen your personal growth and professional development. You have made such a difference in our lives and others. Therefore, we know you have made a difference in your workplace for 32 years. Your strength has been truly amazing despite all the challenges of life. God has been with you every step of the way, and you have acknowledged Him as being the source of your strength. We applaud your efforts and devotion to help you and give to others. Without a doubt, you will continue to show your love by serving others through your ministry, prison ministry, and other volunteer work. We pray retirement will offer you many new and exciting opportunities, which we know you will embrace wholeheartedly. As you always say, the best is yet to come. Get ready, set, go. It's your time to relax and enjoy. We love you from the bottom of our hearts, and we are so very proud of you. Love and blessings to your family.
I first want to say, honestly, thank you all. I mean, I feel the love and just kind of the family hood in here. I mean, it's amazing to see so many people come together over kind of varying points of my mother's career, and I'm just really thankful. I was telling my cousin earlier that, obviously it's not a secret that my father had passed a number of years ago, and, I've always thought about, the people around my mom to make sure that she's, feels at home, and I'm really appreciative in this moment to see the provision that God has extended, honestly, for everybody that's in this room that I wasn't even aware of, that was keeping my mom kind of under their wing. So I just want to honestly say thank you before I share with you what I have to say. All right, so I'm sure that most are aware that Beverly served the citizens of the United States honorably for more than 32 years. I recently learned that she started her career with the Department of Defense in California and spent the last 29 plus years at the IRS. I cannot imagine what it is like to have a career of over 32 years, but if I had to envision, I would imagine that it's filled with 1,664 case of the Mondays, just as many out of here Fridays. That's my wife's line right there. As found online, a federal civil servant is defined as a civilian, a part of the federal workforce of the United States federal government, departments and agencies. Federal civil service was established in 1871, and here today we are in 2019, and another individual was added to our history books. Federal workers are often disparaged and stereotypically denigrated in today's punditry and political banter, but I can attest from everything that everyone has shared today, and from what I know of my mother, she should be lauded for her commitment, loyalty, hard work, legacy, professionalism, and her dedication to debt collection, and even my personal life. Very true. Oh yeah, that's rare. Many times in the past, I've borrowed a few dollars and she never let me skirt repayment. I have known my working mother for a huge portion of her career. JFK, during his inaugural speech, called on all Americans to commit themselves to service and sacrifice. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I can reflect on moments where she may have sacrificed personal family occasions to fulfill her service as a federal civilian employee. As I stand here with my brother, my wife, present, and family members, and other extended friends and family here, I can say it makes me proud to have a parent who is led by example and personifies dignity and an unrelenting pledge to hard work. Beverly leaves a legacy of leadership, compassion, and integrity, which above all work-related accomplishments are true indicators of what a true federal government employee should embody. I cannot help but think about what my father would say in this moment. Unfortunately, he is not here, but I'm really confident that he's looking down on us right now, smiling at this occasion. He was known to say, "Show your love." And in this moment, I'd like to think that he'd say, above all, Beverly, I'm proud you approached your career with the spirits of Colossians 3:23, which states, "And whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men," which in summation, in my opinion, speaks to presenting your best work and putting your best foot forward as if you're presenting it to God. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this. The great late Martin Luther King stated, "Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals." Mom, this reminds me of you, and I'm sure your peers would say the same. Overall, I hope and believe that the entirety of your years of service have contributed to the betterment of society, and in addition, the provision of resources for a life well fulfilled. To the audience, let's all have a little Beverly inside of us. When we approach our work, take time to get to know one another, show love, compassion, and empathy, find common ground, and promote civility among each other. Mom, job well done. 32 years, here's to you. Enjoy your retirement, you've earned it. Congratulations. So here's that like obligatory moment, and I'm not trying to, upstage anyone or anything, but it's not a secret that I used to work for President Barack Obama, and I was fortunate enough to, in the very last moment, get a letter from President Obama acknowledging her federal service. So the office of Barack and Michelle Obama. So Mrs. Beverly Whitaker Upperman. Dear Beverly. Very real, I'm not reading it from my phone. I am pleased to join your family and friends in congratulating you on a well-earned retirement after 32 years of service to your fellow citizens. By choosing a career in government, you carried on a noble and important tradition that has sustained our nation since its founding. Each day, the passion and professionalism you brought to the work you did made an untold difference in the lives of people across the country. I trust you take tremendous pride in everything that you have accomplished at the Internal Revenue Service, and I want you to know you have my deepest and enduring gratitude. Michelle and I wish you, Chris, and all of your loved ones our very best. Sincerely, Barack Obama. Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine.
So it is always great to be here and to see all of y'all. It's also today when Karen sent me an email to ask me could I speak. She said, "Rick, we're going to put you last on the agenda because nobody wants to speak after you." So I'm sitting back there and everybody's using all my lines. And then Christopher has a letter from Beverly, and I'm like, holy smokes. invite you to speak, but they don't say, hey, listen, and we'll pick up some expenses. They just say, be on time. No, see, so those of us that are retired, we just show up because it's the person, right? Because it's the person. So, Ken, I felt like while I was there in the back, this is like church. So y'all can take off Sunday. Y'all I heard more scripture quoted today than I did on Sunday. I was waiting for the crowd to go, hey. I was like, But I guess if I was staffed like y'all, I'd be praying a lot too. I was pleased to hear Joel is here. We all know that part of how Joel got to the job he has today, because when he recruited and hired people, he sucked. So it was really great to see he has one successful person. One successful person. Because I asked around, there ain't nobody else. So Christopher and Troy, great speech. It is just, you are going to be overwhelmed with the attention. She's going to call it love, but the attention that your mom is going to put on you now. Because you don't have the distraction of traveling all around, so she will be checking on out. So you need to clean up your stuff now. This is actually not a comedy show. This is Miss Beverly. But I was joined today by Walter Strahan. He's in the back. Would you stand up, please? Okay. He also is part of our group in Kairos. And so I just wanted you all to see him because he is also retired. So this is how, between me and Walter, this is how good looking the men are going to be. Retired, So I just wanted to share a few thoughts. So my last thought with Karen, she said that everybody was going to talk for 2 minutes. So I've been back there with my phone out. Not one person, even the prayer was on. I said, that brother must be back. Because we cannot just say, praise you, Lord. So that's a great prayer. Way too long. And there's two things I learned about our honoree here today. I first started to deal with her when I was
For 32 years of service, I am Teresa Bix-Gibbons, and I am one of Beverly's oldest co-workers, maybe not oldest, but oldest and known
not age.
Get it right.
And I am Joel Bridges. I was Beverly's very first OJI when she started with the service in 1991. One thing that I found about Beverly is that she was always asking questions as a young trainee. And at first I thought, will she ever shut up? The whole idea behind it was that she was inquisitive, she had a thirst for knowledge, and that she was a continual learner. And that's one thing that I've noticed with her as she's continued to move forward through her career and through her path. And even though I was her initial coach, we have had similar paths in our careers, and she has always been more than just a mentee. She's always also has been a tremendous friend. So I'm going to miss you.
Absolutely. So we're indeed grateful to have not only Beverly here, but to celebrate with Beverly, we have her sons, Christopher and Troy. Was a surprise, so she said she's been crying all day, and I said, oh, y'all gonna mess her up for sure. And also also her family member, Deborah, who she talks about all the time as well. So we are grateful to have you here as well. So thank you all so much for coming out to celebrate with us 32 years of service to the federal government. Without further ado, we'll have Louis Eichner come up and lead us in prayer.
They told me to keep this prayer under 2 minutes. Usually I don't write things down. It's not 2 minutes. So I wrote it down. It's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. Let's bow our heads, please. Our God and Father and our Lord Jesus Christ, as we come today, we praise you for your goodness. We praise you for your loving kindness. We praise you for your long suffering towards us. By this, we thank you for allowing us this awesome moment to celebrate the life and retirement of your servant, Beverly. We thank you for her diligence, for her tenacity to hang in there during the hard times when you presented her with certain challenges that stretched her. We thank you for the awesome opportunity for her to demonstrate the love of Christ in every situation, even when it was difficult to do so. We know, Father, that this is not the end, because retirement is only a word for those who would withdraw completely from life. We want to thank you for her life ahead, wherein you have much more work for her to perform. You have declared this before the foundation of the world, that she should walk in. May you, our Father, prompt her daily to walk by the power of the Holy Spirit with a steadfast heart that will please you with all her being. May you deal with her bountifully, that the abundance will affect the lives of those who she will come in contact with. Pray for her family, that you would bring healing and wholeness where needed. We pray that the appropriate medical assistance give the appropriate results. We pray that as she looks forward to being a grandma, that you would allow her to impart the wisdom as she has poured out into her sons. We pray for her ministry involvement, that you would grant her wisdom as she studies the book of wisdom, and in all they're getting, get understanding. We know that you store up the wisdom for the righteous. More importantly, I pray that Beverly's life and walk would have affected or have influence on the lives of those around her, wherein they would desire to know you in a real and personal way. We thank you, Lord God, knowing that this change can only come by surrendering their lives totally to you in a real way. For your word has told us that you would that none should perish, but all come to repentance. Again, we want to thank you for all those who are here to celebrate the life and retirement of Beverly, and may the enjoyment of her retirement, Lord God, be such wherein you will be glorified. We give you praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
The next on the program will have a life dedicated service by here. Somebody endorse it.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, when I think about Beverly, there's a poem that I'm reminded of, and it is The Dash by Linda Ellis. And so the part that I'm reminded of when I think about Beverly, is called What Matters is How We Live and Love, How We Spend Our Dash. I'll say that again. It's what matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. And so, Beverly, when I read your biography, I thought about this. So my purpose here today is to share Beverly's dash that is still being written. And you can tell about all the people that are gathered here today. I think about this has been a reunion. I've seen so many faces that have retired and have come and gone, and they've come here today to celebrate with you, Beverly. And it's such a joyous milestone, 32 years of service. Beverly is a native of Raleigh, North Carolina, and she's a second daughter born to the late Gorham Whitaker and Maddie Whitaker. She attended high school in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she later continued her studies at North Carolina Central University in Durham. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education, and then when she graduated from college, she married her childhood sweetheart, Chris. And into that union, 2 sons were born, Christopher and Troy. And Christopher and Troy, you all stand. I know we acknowledged you earlier, but could you stand so everybody can recognize you? And she has 2 lovely daughter-in-laws, Crystal and Jasmine. Beverly is committed to service in a manner that brings glory and honor to the one who is able to exceedingly, abundantly, and above all, do what we ask or think. She answered the call to preach the gospel and preached her first sermon in December 2001. She was later ordained in August 2009 as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. She has served Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church as Director of Christian Education, Scholarship Ministry Advisor, and Sunday School Teacher for teenage girls. Beverly was also instrumental in the development of the Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church Handbook for Ministers. Beverly is a member of the Victorious Women in Christ, a women's health ministry where she has served as administrator since its inception in 2003. She facilitates a weekly Bible study class here at Internal Revenue Service, and it's called the Working Warriors of Faith. In 2006, Beverly began serving in the Kairos Prison Ministry International as clergy, where she shares the love of Jesus at a women's prison ministry. Beverly truly acknowledges that she's a woman of purpose who has been chosen to preach and teach the gospel. She has surrendered her life to the Lord and daily asks Him to investigate my life, oh God, find out everything about me, cross-examine and test me, get a clear picture of what I'm about. See for yourself whether I've done anything wrong, then guide me on the road to eternal life. Psalms 139:23-4. To Beverly I say, many are called, but few are chosen. And Beverly, thank you for sharing in your dash with us for the past 32 years. Thank you.
It is my pleasure and honor to bring forth to the podium our dynamic duo, Wage and Investment, our Commissioner Kim Corbin and our Deputy Commissioner David Alito.
No, I go first. All right. Look, David, no paper. Yeah, right, okay. Just hold it up so that I can. So I can see it. So Beverly, I didn't really need something written for me to come up here and express my gratitude and my thanks to you. I want Christopher and Troy to know that this is a part of your family. And even though this is about retirement, it really is about introducing you to your extended family. Beverly will always be my sister. And in retirement or anywhere else, if you ever need anything, you know we're here for you. I wanted to let you all know the thing about Beverly for me that will always kind of walk with me through the rest of my IRS career and through my leadership journey is just the smile and the grace that she lightens any room with. No matter what conversation, some are hard, some are easy, but whenever I walk into a room and I see Beverly sitting there, her smile just brings a calm and a peace to me that helps us lead the organization and make the decisions that we make. more importantly, Beverly may not remember this conversation, but one day we were gathered in the conference room, and we had a meeting. Who knows what it was about? It was over something. And the room had emptied out, and I was still in the room, and Beverly was still in the room. And so we were getting up, and we were walking out together. And Beverly said to me, she said, you know, one of the things that I really like that you do is that when you're having a meeting, you look everyone in the eye, and you talk, and you have a conversation, and you keep that eye contact, which helps the flow of the meeting go, and people kind of understand where things are going. And I hadn't thought about that much, but when Beverly said that to me, every meeting I go to, I'm reminded of the importance of contact, the importance of looking people in the eye and having that conversation so that you can get a sense not only of what you're saying, but of what they're feeling. And so every time I had an opportunity to be in a meeting, today, tomorrow, or in the future, I'm going to remember that reminder. Those words of wisdom about looking people in the eye and conveying what it is that you need to say. So although this is retirement, I wanted to take this opportunity to look Beverly and her sons in the eye and say what a blessing your mom has been to this organization. What a blessing she has been to all of us. And so no matter what happens, where you go, what you think about, be very proud of the company. Because we are. And we definitely will. Miss you.
That's right. Well, welcome, and it's a pleasure to see you all. You know, Beverly, I was listening to Teresa and Joel, and I was thinking back, and I think that's when I first got to work with you, as we were revenue officers in collection. You know, it's surprising now. You know, I look at Beverly and this sweet, kind, just person. I thought this person has to go to people's doors and ask for money. You know, is not the best of circumstances, and it's very difficult to do. Now I have children in college that seem to have mastered that because they come to me all the time. But at that point, for us to do it, and the thing I always remembered about you was just your Tim said it best, your grace, your poise, your fairness. And I think you always brought that with you on the position. You know, we went from collection, I think you and I even had started acting as managers in different jobs at that time. We were all kind of running in those circles. And you know, you always handled that very well, because that's, you know, especially your first management job was always very tough. And as I look on your career, and of course now coming back to Atlanta many years later, here was that same smiling face of just, it gives us confidence of what we do. And you always held yourself out well. You know, you are a perfect example and have been of when you bring that skill set, the leadership, the compassion, you know, the level of class that you bring, the grace, the poise, all those things, and the caring of the people you work with. And you work in, you know, collection and spec and WIOS and all our different jobs and rigs. And it's a perfect example of how that skill set would work anywhere. And I couldn't think of too many jobs maybe you haven't touched or places you haven't touched when you were here, but you know, if give it a longer time, I know you would do well in those as well. But you certainly bring just a wonderful candor with you in those positions, and I always knew that. When I came back, it was such a pleasure to see you again here. As Ken said, you know, when we see you in a room, it could be the toughest challenge that we have, but we look over and you know, it brings confidence. You're like, we're going to be okay. Beverly's here. This isn't going to be a problem. We're going to be okay. The one thing, you know, my memory's going to fade, but I do remember that you had a raincoat. Was it a yellow? Or was that, do you remember that? But I remember because I thought she's so sweet, you know, she's so nice, and she looks like Patty, you know, just happy like Paddington had it was like a yellow hat. And I remember I thought, and she's out there asking people for money as a revenue officer. I said, she's so kind. I said, you know, she's just doing it right. But you always brought that sense with you of just your involvement with the people, and it's such a pleasure to have you. And your mom's been such a wonderful, she's been a jack of all trades. There's different positions you've been in. You've always looked to a new challenge. You've always mastered that challenge. You've always helped those around you, and you really are one of the people in the service that everybody has a kind word about, and everybody you interact with has gained a little bit more positive focus from that. So it's truly been a pleasure to get to work with you back early in my career, and then coming back to Wage and Investment, getting to work with you again. It doesn't feel like any time has gone by. We all started out in Coker Center. It feels like it was just yesterday, but truly wish you the best, and certainly you brought so much to the IRS and leave it in a much better place with your involvement. So thank you for all your years of service.
The retirement is a celebration of old memories and new beginnings, a time to be grateful for the years behind you. Retirement is a wonderful feeling, filled with the gift of knowing that all you accomplished has made a lasting difference, and all that lies ahead will come to another lasting treasure. I have a retirement blessing poem that I'd like to read to you. It was created by Barbara McAdam, edited by yours truly. You started on this journey so many years ago, and now it's time to leave behind dear friends you've come to know. You sought divine directions and a heart to do His will. Your work became your passion as you used your gift and skills. You set the highest standards for yourself and others too, showing honor, pride, and dignity. We saw the best in you. A rags to riches story need not be your bottom line. The priceless things we gain in life often comes with the divine. So don't waste one more minute wishing for things that might have been. Rather watch the seeds you planted grow and feel His peace within. I pray God keeps you safe and well wherever you may turn, surrounded by your loved ones, living out the dreams you've earned. And in this quiet of your heart, may you hear God softly say, my good and faithful servant, I'm so proud of you this day. Amen.
Next, we're going to have the presentations of the gifts. Kevin Moorhead is going to do that. So
All right, so come on up there, Beverly. So we'll start with, I already have a local one. We'll start with local one. So Beverly has we have a letter here, and it says, Dear Miss Upperman, it is my honor to congratulate you on your retirement from the Internal Revenue Service. For more than 3 decades, you have demonstrated the highest standards for professionalism, excellence, and leadership. As the esteemed member of your department, your work has been integral to enhancing the safety of America. The city of Atlanta is proud to celebrate your accomplishments and salutes you for the impact you have made through meaningful contributions. Signed by Keisha Lance Bottoms, Mayor, City of Atlanta. I don't know how to read all this one, it's long. But it is from, I'll do the last paragraph as far as that it's from. It says, best wishes to you, Beverly. I know that you must be looking forward to many things upon retirement, including working in the prison ministry, traveling, enjoying your grandchildren, and spending more time with your 89-year-old mother. I hope this new chapter in your life brings you all the happiness you deserve. Sincerely, Charles P. Reddy, Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service. And then I have the esteemed honor, usually we will invite up our commissioner to do this one. I'm presenting you with the Albert Gallatin Award, which not everybody gets an Albert Gallatin Award, right? this group should know who don't get them, right? People that have been in trouble. Some of y'all after today, y'all might not be getting them. But Beverly, I'd like to always just read what the Albert Gallatin says because I think of the honor. It says, upon your retirement, and they gave me the darkest copy to try to read. From your retirement from the federal service, this award is presented as evidence of the esteem from which you are presented at the Department of Treasury, which has been the beneficiary of your labors for so many years. The fine contributions that you have made to public service will merit this commendation of your gratitude. It's the Albert Gallatin Award. The official copy will be yours. So thank you. Thank you. They told me there was one other thing up here. I'm supposed to get that out. It's great. Oh, you got it. You guys are going to do that? No. Okay. So your team, the folks from CMO and the others, do want to give you this gift and honor you. And as the last executive, Carolyn would be here, but she's on the talent review board that Beverly's team does all the work for, and we have to have somebody there covering that from the executive ranks. Beverly and I have worked together off and on since you were in those little pictures of Spa with Joe and others in that process. But the last job that Beverly's leaving from is our leadership team. And what a true great leader you have. And I'm going to tell a little joke. She acted as our CMO director for her. And then she went to spec. And when she was in spec, we did this like house moving thing that, as many of you know, I wasn't real happy about because it didn't turn out right. And then I kept saying, who signed off on this? And they said, that might have been when Beverly was acting. So I had a nickname for Beverly. What was your nickname?
You tell it.
So I nicknamed her Batman because they put people next to the window with a wall. And I said, it's like the Dark Knight. And I said, did you do this, Batman? But as I sit here and reflect back, you've been a superhero to many people. So you continue to be that hero. That's your big role. Thank you.
Do I have to come back up here?
You gotta come on back. You gotta come on back. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. And she was a lawless in giving that out. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you and have you greet our honoree today, Mrs. Beverly Whitaker Upperman.
I'm just seeing some of the faces out there in the audience. I am so overwhelmed today. I've been crying all day in my family. I started out this morning sending me a greeting, and I don't know if many of you know, you heard that part of my retirement is planning to spend with my 89-year-old mom. And 2 weeks ago, she was in a head-on collision, and she's got some challenges. And I knew the decision was right. The timing was right. She's going to need someone there with her 24 hours a day, and I can do that. And so for that reason, this journey is easier. What is really hard is leaving all of you. I look out and I see friends that did start with me in 1991. Where are y'all? Where did the 91 go? Who was that back there? Tammy. That started with me in 91, and I have sisters in Christ, victorious women. I see you out here, Minister Denise Red and Minister Mary Ann Johnson. And as Rick said, there's my part of my life that's with the prison ministry. I have Walter and Rick back there. And I have just so many people here from every walk of my life. And I have been blessed. I've had some tragedies in my life. I've had some challenges in my life. But all of you have helped to make that easy for me and to help it to move in the way that it has.
My team has been overwhelming me this month. Every Wednesday I go in and they say, come here, and they've got something else planned for me. They have showered me with so much love this month. And I'm out of words. I don't have the words to really say thank you, but every one of you that are here, my part of my life motto is that if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living is not in vain. And so I'm grateful. There's another victorious woman, Sanjanette Barlow, Minister Sanjanette. And so I'm grateful from every part of this organization. As you've heard, my husband passed almost 7 years ago. And I didn't have a plan B in my life. You all have heard me say that. We had a plan A. We were going to retire together. We were going to do full-time ministry together. And he checked out of here like suddenly. It was a big suddenly in my life. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And the hardest thing for me was to come back to work. But when I came back to work, the very first thing that met me on my door is, at the time I didn't know it, but someone had flooded my door with butterflies. From top to bottom, it was full of butterflies. And the Lord was telling me it's going to be okay. And my IRS family was there for me, supporting me in that hour. And Kevin Moorhead walked into my office and asked me, you thought about XR? And I hadn't. I didn't have a plan B. And the XR journey came at a time when I was trying to get my footing. And it was in that journey that I met so many of you. And I'm grateful for that journey. And I'm overwhelmed that our senior leadership have taken out. What time is it? I don't even have my watch. I mean, have you anybody ever tried to schedule their calendar? It's impossible. And just the fact that you have sat here today means so much to me. I've been blessed to be here. I have people at work, out of work, but they've all been a part of my life, helping me make it through. And I'm very excited about this next part of my journey. I'm very excited. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know where I'm going to be living. I don't know anything other than I'm just walking by blind faith, knowing that my steps indeed are ordered, because they have been these 32 years. And if I could say thank you to each one of you and give you a big hug, I would. But know that I really do love you and I appreciate you. And thank you for everything that you've done and you've been for me in my life. And the good news is that it doesn't really end here, because you're my family and you're my friends. And we will be in touch after this is over. And that's about all I can say right now. So thank you. Thank you.
For coming, and we will have refreshments in the atrium. Thank you again.